All right, Seabass, him from California. We got you connected there. Hi, how are you?
Great conversation I was listening to just moments ago. That was great.
Good.
I kind of identify with your previous caller, Jeffrey. I'm sort of a similar personality.
Okay.
That's good news.
Cool. So it says here that you believe some people may have near-death experience and life after death. So what do you exactly believe, and why do you believe it?
Well, I believe that everybody has experiences that they can't get other people to accept. I have those experiences. I don't expect anybody to believe what I've experienced. And a person who's had an NDE, near-death experience, I've never had one. My experience tells me otherwise, that when you're out, you're out. Like if I go in for wisdom teeth, they put me on sodium pentothal, and I don't remember a damn thing between the time they stick that needle in my arm and the time I wake up. I kind of consider that to be the experience of death. So, but that's just me. That doesn't mean that some of these other people, I also can't explain human body combustion, instant human combustion. Those things,
spontaneous combustion.
People, yeah, that's it. Spontaneous human combustion. Nobody can explain that. You can't explain it scientifically or any other way. But it happens, and nobody has an explanation for it. I think that you've got some things are just going to make you scratch your head and wonder. And this is one of those things. That NDE, what happens after you die, is a big question. My personal belief is you're knocked out until Jesus brings you back later on in the future. But between the time that you die and your spirit leaves you, there might be a period of time between the cessation of life in the body and the spirit leaving to go back to where it came from. And in that interim, you might experience something. So that may be the NDE that we're talking about, where the spirit is leaving and then it gets called back at the last second. So they have this NDE. That's a possibility in my mind.
Okay. Jimmy, you want to start this one?
Sure. Well, you said your personal belief is that people are just waiting for Jesus to come back, right? But is that really your personal belief, or is there somewhere that you got that from? Like, is that external to you as well? There's probably very many people that believe that, right? Or is it just a personal belief?
Well, I read the Bible, and I believe every word of it, and that's what I get. The more I read, the more I understand. But, yeah, that's where I get my information.
Okay, so you got your information from the Bible. And you believe that Jesus... All right, so you believe that we die, we kind of wait around for Jesus to come back, and then at that point, we'll be judged. I guess where I'm going with this is, don't you think that you could have just taken that influence and not really read the Bible and thought to yourself, oh, this is genius stuff? Because if you can't really believe everything that's in the Bible, can you? I mean, can you believe that there was a talking snake in the Garden of Eden? And, can you believe that Satan only killed like 11 people where God killed like hundreds of millions? And still believe that God is the good guy? Like, I'm just throwing some things out there, but I mean, did you read this book and say, man, this has got to be true? Or was there some external pressure put on you to believe those things?
Well, my personal experience was searching for the truth as a non-believer. I just wanted to know what the truth was, and I asked whoever was listening to me, give me the truth, whatever it is, good, bad, ugly, whatever. And it came to me. I saw what happened in September 2017. I don't want to go into it. It's a long conversation, but a lot of other people saw it. And that really is what woke me up and started making me believe what was going on in the Bible. I also read the book of Enoch, which kind of led me to a deeper understanding of what I was studying at the time, which was aliens and UFOs and this type of thing, and that's in the Book of Enoch. It's explained very well.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but you want to gloss over. You don't want to talk about the thing that you saw because you don't want to go into a whole different story. But I think that thing that you saw is pivotal. I mean, your entire belief hinges on it. So, I mean, can you at least give us a little taste of what it was?
Well, if you recall, 7 years ago, we had a hurricane going on, and Hurricane Harvey. Remember that? And then Harvey Weinstein show up on the scene shortly after that. That was kind of interesting, kind of prophetic.
Okay, hold on.
That's coincidental, but
yeah.
Do you know about Littlewood's law? Littlewood was an English mathematician, and he said if you have a 1 in a million chance of something,
you're changing the subject. Do you want?
No, well, I'm trying to explain the Harvey thing to you.
Okay.
I'm not changing the subject. I'm explaining the Harvey thing.
You just don't like it because it's the truth. You can't.
No, I am trying to explain why it happened. Littlewood was an English mathematician. And he said that if you have a 1 in a million chance of experiencing something, that seems pretty miraculous. Like the two Harvey things, that seems pretty miraculous. But if you are conscious and awake 8 hours a day, after 34 days, you have had 1 million experiences, one experience every second. So every 34 days, you have the potential to have something like the Harvey miracle happen to you.
Well, that's just you're explaining away what we all saw happen in front of us.
No, I'm explaining. I am explaining a mathematical law that explains why coincidences happen. And a lot of people see these coincidences and they think they're miraculous, but they have the potential to happen every 34 days to each person. And I'm sure you've experienced, you're writing something, and as you're writing out a word, you hear somebody say the same word as you're writing it out. And we have experiences and coincidences like that all the time. And that's a very, very good explanation for the two Harveys. That's nothing unusual. Two Harveys, that's nothing unusual at all. That was my point.
I get interrupted whenever I'm on something. This is a common thing that happens.
No, you want to know what a common thing is that happens? And I'm sorry, Kelly, I'm going to mute Seabass for a second. You want to know what a common thing is that happens? It's that when we start trying to dissect people's arguments and not let you gloss over things, people start accusing us of mistreating them. And we're not mistreating you. You know, we're going to stop you if something's inconsistent and try and make sense, or if something doesn't make sense, try and make sense of that thing so that we can move on in the conversation. Now, you just tried to tell us that your entire belief system hinges upon one event or two events that coincided with each other. Kelly gave you an explanation for it, and you lashed out at him. And that's not fair. You know, you called our show, and I think we've been very hospitable to you. So I'm going to unmute you, and hopefully we can just kind of continue without that kind of thing. All right, so Kelly was explaining something to you, Seabass, and what do you think about that?
You didn't like what I was saying, so you muted me.
All right, that's it. Goodbye. Now I don't like what you're saying, so you're gone. I mean, we didn't invite you to talk, and we were very nice. There was no confrontational there. You decided to have a persecution complex. And at that point that you decided to pull that persecution crap, you're no longer here. I'm sorry, I'm not going to deal with people who are immature.